The sea always reminds man to see himself in perspective, that he is but a part of an infinitely larger scheme of things. And just like the relentless waves, he is to give full play to his great intellectual abilities and emotional gifts to realize and enjoy life in the fullest sense, and walk tall on the face of the earth as the crown of all creation. But on the morning of 26 December 2004, the blue sea suddenly decided to remind man of a dark and furious truth in the language of a giant tsunami wave. Man may be the crown of all creation, its seed, but nature is still the king, always spoiling to get the upper hand. Within minutes, he watched every winning heap that he gave his life for shatter in one single pitch and toss. And he was too broken and bent to stoop and build them up again. A time like this demands strong minds, great hearts, true faith, and ready hands. Like millions of others, that fateful morning, they faced an overwhelming situation that had devastated the entire coast of Tamil Nadu, the likes of which the nation had not seen or experienced ever, killing 8,574 almost instantaneously. Keeping their heads when all about them have lost theirs, 9,800 Sevabharathi volunteers went about saving those who could be saved. 115 of them, including a 60-year-old man who was miraculously rescued alive a full 6 days after the tsunami struck. Yes, indeed. The statewide response of Sevabharathi volunteers to the tsunami attack was spontaneous and immediate. Food came next. All of the 20,000 food packets were distributed by 12:30 p.m. on the day of the disaster, and more than 46,000 people were fed during the very first week. In all, some 480,000 food packets were given to the affected people along the coast. Then came the daunting task of removing the dead, 2,475 of them, and interring them or cremating them, solemnly and with dignity, just as it would be had they been their own kith and kin. This single act alone helped greatly in preventing an outbreak of serious epidemics. Accepting the unstinted cooperation from the people hailing from the affected areas, essential relief materials were distributed smoothly to everyone who needed them, cutting across caste, creed or religion. In all, relief materials worth ₹7 crores was distributed from 15 relief centers of Sevabharathi located all along the coast. Compact family kits comprising of food grain, stoves and cooking utensils were given to 27,000 families who were completely bereft of all worldly possessions. A posse of 120 doctors and nurses, armed with medicines, pouring in from various parts of the country, especially Gujarat and Karnataka, set up relief centers in 113 coastal villages, providing medical attention to thousands of affected people.
டிசம்பர் 26ஆம் தேதியன்று இந்த நாகை மக்கள் எதிர்பாராத சமயத்தில் கேள்விப்படாத இந்த சுனாமி என்ற பயங்கரமான அலை நாகையை தாக்கியதில் ஜனங்கள் அரண்டு போய் நாகையே விட்டு எல்லோரும் ஓடும் நிலைக்கு சென்று விட்டனர். இந்த நிலையில் ஏராளமானவர் செத்து மடிந்தனர். அடுத்த நாளே RSS சேவாபாரதி தொண்டர்கள் இங்கு நாகை வாழ் மக்களை தொடர்பு கொண்டு உடனே என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும் என்பதை அவங்கள் மனதில் மிகவும் கிளியராக புரிந்து கொண்டு முதலில் டெட் பாடிகளை அகற்ற வேண்டும், அதற்கு பிறகு சுகாதார நடவடிக்கைகளை எடுக்க வேண்டும், பசிப்பவர்களுக்கு உணவு கொடுக்க வேண்டும் என்ற முறையில் ஒவ்வொன்றையும் நல்ல டிசிப்ளினுடன் ஒரு மிலிட்டரி ப்ரொசஸருடன் நல்ல தியாக உணர்வுடன்
Sevabharathi have endeared themselves to the affected people in their hour of need by their timely removal of dead bodies, distribution of food packets, providing medical assistance and basic sanitation.
டே நைட்டு பாராமல் உழைப்பு ஒன்றே மூலதனமாக வச்சு எந்த வித பிரதிபலமும் எதிர்பார்க்காம ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டு பப்ளிக்கு சர்வீஸ் ஆகிடுறாங்க. RSS ப்ராப்பராக செய்வாங்க, எந்த தப்பு இருக்காதுங்கிறதுனால தான் மெட்ராஸ்லேருந்து.
Even in our time of great distress, we could not but admire and draw solace from the selfless and dedicated service of the Sevabharathi volunteers. Counseling teaches us to hold on when there's nothing in us except the will to hold on to. It helps us start again at our very beginnings, for life must go on. It involved talking to the affected and initiating them into spiritual activities like bhajans and observing obsequies for their dead. Atma Shanti Puja and Ganga Mata Puja were performed on the 16th day of the disaster to appease the souls of the departed. Highly traumatized children, the most vulnerable group of all, were given special and continuous counseling by the compassionate volunteers. 420 dedicated counselors from Sevabharathi conducted counseling sessions for 6,000 distraught people. Rehabilitation work came next. Shoulder to shoulder with the Indian Army and teams of like-minded organizations and government departments, Sevabharathi volunteers constructed over 1,000 temporary tenements for the homeless fisherfolk families. They began to impart vocational training to their youth, from tailoring to computer education. But is this enough? All of these gallant activities only took care of the hapless people's immediate and most desperate needs. What about the long term? These people want back their life. These people want back their livelihood that was so ruthlessly snatched away from them. They need permanent homes, boats and nets. Their children need schools, classrooms and tuition from devoted teachers. Hospitals and dispensaries run by dedicated doctors, nurses and pharmacists. Sevabharathi is determined to rise to the occasion. Stretching every heart, nerve and sinew, it has already begun to address all of these needs. For instance, concrete plans are afoot to build permanent homes for all the tsunami victims by 2007. The implementation of this huge project is directly overseen by none other than Shri Sudarshan Ji, the President of the RSS. Indeed, it is Sevabharathi's vision to completely erase all the memories of the tsunami from the collective psyche of the affected people, by giving them a new vision and a new life. But in order to achieve that, a lot more help is needed. After all, a time like this demands strong minds, great hearts, true faith, and ready hands. Will we be able to rise up to this great and noble task?